Hello everyone and welcome to Daughter of Serpents. This game is the sequel to The Hound of Shadow, or at least it does take place in the same universe. It also has the same mouse cursor during character creation, isn't that great? This game here takes place in Egypt as opposed to the UK, but it does have a similar character creation system, even though it is more for traditional point-and-click adventure instead of a text adventure. We can choose our gender this time. We're going to be a male, and we were born in June. I don't know, 6th of June doesn't really matter. Yeah, very little of this matters. We're 32 years old. Our title is, we can choose between Mr. Dr. Professor Lord or Professor Doctor. We're going to be a Lord. We can't be a Lord Professor Doctor. But well, one can't have everything. First name is James, of course. And we are, of course, James Alford. Lord Alford, that is. There we go. So here's the initial assessment. You adapt easily to new surroundings, are reasonably well educated, have a pragmatic nature, look for rational explanations, are conscious of strange forces around you, and possess a shrewd and astute mind. Yep, I'm okay with that. Our nationality is of course going to be British because we are Lord, and I live in the UK. And now we can choose between a couple of professions, and we can put different points into different skills associated with the professions. The Windows version of this game here, the scroll, does away with that and gives you the choice between being an Egyptologist or an occultist. But this game here still has a creation system that's a bit more similar to the one in The Hound of Shadow, and as in The Hound of Shadow, it doesn't really matter for the most part what you do there. So, let's put some points into mysticism. Ooh, corrupt knowledge. Yeah, we'll put some points into that. There we go. Yeah, if you want to have a sub-skill, you need to reach the orange area here, which means that you've put at least 25 points into that respective skill. So here we have the formula of Borellos and powder of the guest. I have no idea what that is supposed to be and what that does, but we're going to go with it. So here we can... Ooh, Eastern travel, of course. So well, Egypt isn't really that far in the east, but I guess that depends on your perspective. So we can put some points into Haggle. Of course, that's a specific Oriental skill, naturally. So we can speak Arabic. It is not really necessary because all the Arabs in the game speak racist English, so that's fine. Oh yeah, I have to put some points into that. And Arabic myth? Yeah, I guess that sounds good. Speak Arabic? Yeah, sounds good to me. Haggle? Yeah, that sounds... Haggle's... You can actually haggle in the game, but the thing is that it's not really all that necessary to actually get anywhere. So you can occasionally reduce the price of items and stuff like that, but you do get enough anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. So, ooh, what we have here: low life, police procedure, forensic pathology, observation, and streetwise. Isn't that exciting? But we don't really have many points left. In fact, we don't have any points left. But let's just check out what we could have gone here. Ooh, necromancy. I did that during my last playthrough. I don't think it matters. Ooh, the Hand of Glory. Look at that. Alchemy, astrology, demonology. Doesn't really matter. What do we have here? Egyptology, archaeology, hieroglyphs, the Ptolemies, Egyptian myths, papyrology, awesome. And traveler, what does that? Oh yeah, that was this one here. Yeah, we already put a couple of points into that, and let's look what Sliss gives us. Criminology, toxicology, savoir-faire, and deduction. Isn't that great? But once more, not really necessary. And there we go. We are Lord James Alford, and you've studied and practiced ritual magic and have traveled in the Middle East. You haggle and are beginning to get good at it, can fit in with the local customs, can make yourself understood in Arabic, and have delved deeply into forbidden lore. You possess a supply of the powder of Ibn Ghazi, which I don't think we need. I think you can just find that in the game. At least you can find magical ingredients in the game, but as said before, it's not too important, but it's still quite exciting, isn't it? Okay, so we will be J. Alford. That's our save file here. And there we go. That was the character creation. So let's select our character. There's actually a variety of characters you can pick that the game makes for you. So if you're not sure what to invest points in, then you can just pick one of those, but they're comparably unexciting. And there we go. They really don't want to show you the title screen, because that's only in there for a second. I didn't skip over that. And the game was once more made by the same two guys who did The Hound of Shadow, but with the help of other guys. And here we are in Alexandria, where the entire game takes place. Rob Chapman did the character generator graphics. Well done, Rob. I think the graphics look actually quite nice in this game here. And the British Museum, of course, always important. And look at that. Oh dear, what's happening? No, it's a dual knife attack. But thankfully, someone with a gun was there to shoot down the perpetrator, and it was a lizard person. Well, that was a pretty exciting intro. Unfortunately, that incident is never brought up ever again. Well, one can't have everything. So here we are Sir James Alford. We actually have a character we've named ourselves and stuff. In the scroll you don't do that, you just choose whether you want to be the Egyptologist or the Occultist, and then you essentially are a preset character. So this game has a fairly clunky interface. What you can do, you can go to the edge of the screen and do various things. You can walk away here. Occasionally you can also talk to people, if the game allows you to. You can also look at the ground, which is a bit weird. Ah, good morning. Okay. That's nice. There we go. Lord James. Is it not? We have been expecting you. I am Emil Grüber, the manager. So this hotel here is run by a German guy. I have a letter here, which was left to await your arrival. There we go. Let's take that. So we can do various things with the letter. We can put it in our inventory here. We can also drop it on the ground. Occasionally that's necessary if you want to examine an item. It's a bit of a clunky system, but oh well. So can you please allow me to... There we go. Lord James. Post Restaurant, Savory Palace Hotel. Dear Lord James, I've received a letter from our mutual acquaintance, Mr. Roland Makers. Ah, there we go. Roland Makers of Museum Street in London. There we go. Same universe as The Hound of Shadow. There's your Hound of Shadow extended universe, in which he speaks highly of you as a serious scholar of the occult arts, and says that he has suggested you. You have to be very precise if you want to turn the pages here, so the game requires you to hit a very small spot here. There we go. Called on me during your visit to Alexandria. I would be happy to see you as soon as you would like once you have arrived in Alexandria, and suggest that in the first instance we meet at my office in Rue Sharif Pasha. If you are unfamiliar with the city, Dodo staff will be able to direct you to it. Yours faithfully, Adrian Elitis. Yeah, this font is... maybe it's just me, but I think it's fairly difficult to read. So, let's try to escape here and talk to Emil again. Actually, we don't want to do that. We want to... have to find a company office, Emil. In Rue Sharif Pasha. Where is it? Only 2 or 3 minutes walk from here, Lord James. It is easy to find, but I'll show you. And you can mark it on your map. That's awesome. Let's pick up the letter again. I don't think we actually need the letter, but we may as well do it. And here's the powder, which we may need or maybe not. We'll see about that. So, can we... okay, check the time. I'm sorry, Lord James, but it isn't working at the moment. Okay. It is most unsatisfactory. They say they cannot get the part to repair it. But how does it look? A Swiss managed hotel here. The clock does not work. Oh, so he's from Switzerland. He's not from Germany. Sorry about that. My mistake. You'll find that the clock in the bar works perfectly, however. I'm not quite sure who felt the necessity to write like 20 lines of dialogue about the clock, but whatever. And once more, we have to be quite precise. Anything for me, Emil? There's nothing else for you at the moment. Awesome, so let's... Yeah, we can look at the floor here. That will allow us to examine certain items. Bit of a clunky mechanic, but that's this game here for you. So we can go upstairs to our room. And I think we can also go to the bar, even though I don't think there's anything we can do here right now. No, we cannot. Let's go to our room just briefly. And we're going to take the elevator because we're lazy. And let's examine... I better not go to bed yet. I still have things to do today. Okay, so the bed hotspot is very large for some reason. Ooh, look at that. Is it a bust of Nefertiti or Cleopatra? Well, if it's only one eye, it's Nefertiti. If it has a small strip nose, it's Cleopatra. It's pretty... You should know that, even if you know you're not quite an Egyptologist, but at least you know a lot of things about the country. The Mosque of the Prophet Daniel. Okay, that's interesting to know, but not terribly important. So let's check out Cook's Plan of Alexandria. So here's a cafe. And here is the Savoy Hotel, the museum, Thomas Cook's office, and the catacombs. Isn't that exciting? So let's go to... Where do we want to go first? Let's maybe go here. Welcome to Alexandria, Lord James. Roland said in his letter that he thought we would have much in common. So I'm delighted to meet you. What brings you to Egypt? Maybe the same thing that brought you here. Where great magic has been done in the past, much may still be learned today. The city has a long tradition of magic. Ah, Egypt. It might truly be said of it that it is not that which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die. Yep, there's your Lovecraft reference. There's your overquoted Lovecraft quote, which probably was less overquoted in the mid-90s, to be fair. So you're acquainted with the book of the Mad Arab. Marx was right. You're no dabbler in these matters. It may be fortunate that you have come when you did. I've discovered that one of my employees has been selling papyri. They're probably from a tomb which is being looted, but if I tell him not to do it, he will just carry on behind my back. Because of that, when I found out, I told him I would buy them, since it's probably that the museum here would buy them from me, and that way they would be saved. That is rather kind of you. He won't tell me much about what he has found, except that it is of the finest quality. But there's always a chance that one day something from the Alexandria Library will turn up. I've told him to bring me the best we can find, and we shall just have to see what it is. When he does, would you be interested in seeing it? I would be interested in seeing it. Yes, I'd be fascinated to see what you get. Forgive me asking, but if you hope to explore the city, you will find it difficult without Arabic. Do you speak it? Enough to make myself understood. And are you familiar with the Egyptian way of life? I'm reasonably at home here. Even so, you will need to be careful if you buy anything. How good at bargaining are you? I can give them good run for their money. There we go, all of our skills totally meta. That is good. You don't need a tourist guide, but I could still save you a lot of time. I know the city, but more than that, I know the people who matter. I could make some introductions for you. Would you like me to come with you? I actually wanted to do that, so why didn't that work? Not quite sure what the matter with that was, but maybe we can just talk to her again after we left, possibly, because for some reason you can't talk to her again right now. You know what? Let's maybe go to Thomas Cook and Son Limited. Anything else we can do here? Nope, looks like you can only walk in. And let's talk to this fellow here. I'm sorry, but I don't think there's anything I can help you with at the moment. I haven't even said anything. He just says sorry, can't help you, and kicks me out of of the shop. That was not very kind. Anyway, can we... So we can just go into the hotel here, but that's not really what we want to do. And this... Stop it. This interface here drives me nuts. So, let's just travel back to... There we go. Thank you. But I couldn't possibly impose on you. Very well then. It was nice to have met you, and I hope you enjoy your stay in Alexandria. If you change your mind, you know where I am now. So, why did the game just freeze the dialogue there? I don't know. That's actually the dialogue I wanted to have before we had to go to a different place to continue the conversation. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Hello, Lord James. Have you had second thoughts? Well, I need time to make arrangements. We shall meet tomorrow evening at about 6 o'clock. In the bar of your hotel? Okay, so I guess that's what we're going to do then. But I think there's still a couple of places we can explore. It's not terribly important that you do all of that on your first day. What you can also do here is you can check out stuff. And there's a reasonably large guide here, but I'm not going to go through all of that because very little of it is needed to actually solve the puzzles in the game. And I don't want to burden you with just reading text for half an hour. So we could go to the cafe, so let's do that. This way, please, sir. We have a seat here for you. Now I'm here, I suppose I better order a cup of coffee. That is something in Arabic. There we go. So let's have some cake. Nice to have a little something with the coffee. And some cardamom coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I really like the smell of cardamom coffee. The unmistakable flavor of the Middle East. Yeah, this game is Orientalism the game. So what else could we do? We could explore the catacombs, but I don't think we can do much there. We can just check out this guy here and talk to this guy here. Can we talk to this guy? It doesn't look like it. I like what this guy has to say, so check that out. Do not tell anyone, but I'm not a real tourist guide. My brother got me this job. I love that piece of dialogue. Okay, let's go to the museum. Let's see what we can do there. Don't think we can do anything outside. I think we can just enter and check out the location. And there we go. Obviously not part of the public galleries. Okay, that is sad. But I thought we could go through there anyway, but it looks like we cannot. But we can check this out. I wonder what that is. Probably something from an Egyptian temple or tomb. Well, we could read the sign, but evidently we're not going to do that for some reason. And can we do anything else here? But it doesn't look like it, does it? Nope, we cannot. So let's see where else so we've pretty much been to every place. I don't think the cafe will get us anywhere. We can still order more coffee and tea, but I don't think that's going to get us anywhere. I think we can go into the back eventually, but at the moment we're not allowed to do that, so oh well. In this case, let's go back to the hotel and let's see whether we can talk to Emil again. Evidently you cannot. We don't even get a message of I've got nothing for you. So let's go up to our room and let's sleep. There we go. It's the second day. So let's check out the bar. Nobody here right now. I guess it's just not late enough. But let's check out this again. Nope. doesn't seem to be anything there. That's very disappointing. So let's see whether there's anyone at the museum now. Nope, not the case. Still can't go through here, which is sad as well. So maybe let's go to Altis again. Hello, Lord James. I've made all the arrangements. I'll see you in the bar this evening at 6 o'clock. Okay. So did this change anything? Nope. Still can't talk to Emil. So do we just have to wait? Maybe. We'll see. So there's people here now, but I don't think... Nope. Looks like we can't talk to them. We can check out the clock, and this one here is actually supposed to work. Far too early. I'll come back just before 6. Okay, let's do that. And here we go. So, there we go. You look worried. What's wrong? This. I told you that one of my employees, my customs agent, had been selling papyri. Do you remember? Yes, I remember. I told him to bring me the best he could find. Think that if it was good enough, I could buy it from him and sell it to the museum. I would rather see it go there than to some rich collector. And it would not be the first time they have acquired exhibits in that way. This morning he brought me a large scroll in an elaborate case. This would be a title drop if this game was called The Scroll, but it isn't. It is unique and probably priceless, but that wasn't what worried me. There were things about both case and scroll that disturbed me deeply, things that you and I would recognize because of what we know. I'd risk looking at the scroll, and what I found that disturbed me even more. It is written in Greek, and being Greek myself, I could make some sense of it. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is, like how easily you can read ancient Greek if you know modern Greek, but maybe she just knows ancient Greek. But I'm no scholar of ancient Greek, and I'm going to need the help of an expert. So I'm talking to Professor Leighton Stone at the museum. Look, see for yourself what I mean. She may be right. I can't make out that much, but there's something disturbing about it. It's looking at us. Just one moment. Alright, Cat. I think we've seen enough. Take them both down to the station for questioning. Cameron! But you don't understand. I was on my way to the museum with it. Also, I'm talking to you while not looking at you. A likely story. Yeah, this is the chief of police. Also, I'll have to take it there to see what I've got. No, you don't understand. The thing is dangerous. They won't know what they're dealing with. At least let me come with you. That's quite out of the question. Then take Lord James with you. Come on. We're wasting time. Well, looks like the police doesn't like this. And here we go. We're at the police station. Well, Lord James, I've interviewed Miss Elitis under caution, and she's sticking to her story. I'm not going to caution you, because the details on your passport correspond with what she says. That you had only just arrived in Alexandria, so I think we can eliminate you from our inquiries. I'm not letting her go though. For some time now, we've been trying to find the source of manuscripts appearing on the black market, and we had information pointing to her. But why she was so insistent that either you or she went to the museum with a scroll? Oh, I'm Cameron, by the way. Binbashi Cameron. Yeah, I think Binbashi is a Turkish officer's title, and since Egypt was under Ottoman rule at one point, I guess they retained that. Pleased to meet you. Even if this is an official capacity, why did you want to go with the case? Well, she thought that we had specialist knowledge, which might assist the museum staff in dealing with it. In that case, it might not be such a bad idea. I'm away over there now. Would you like to come? We would. Yeah, these red fields, they are almost pointless because for the most part you always want to do what those characters suggest anyway. Very well then, let's go. Yeah, I thought you could talk to the curator earlier, but maybe that wasn't possible. Or maybe you need different skills for that. There we go. So let's go through here. Or maybe the game does that automatically. I'm okay with that too. Hope you don't mind, Professor, but I've brought along Lord James. Lord James, this is Professor Layton Stone. Pleased to meet you, Lord James. Oh, it's Professor Layton. How exciting. We may have specialist knowledge which could help us. Well then, Professor, what do you make of it? The case is an extraordinary mixture of elements. That does occur, of course. The catacombs are the prime example. But there's nothing like that I know of. The workmanship is superb, but the trouble with gold leaf is that it doesn't tarnish. It could have been made yesterday, and probably was. If it is a fake, then it's likely the scroll is too. Scroll? Yes. There really was a scroll inside there. I've done some preliminary humidifying and unrolled the first few feet. Well, shall we take a look at it? Before I start examining the scroll, take a look at the case. I'll just turn it around for you so that you can see it properly. Wings should have feathers, not scales. Ooh, look at that. Von Jutz writes of things with scaled wings. Oh, there we go. Another Hound of Shadow reference. Things which got the Forbidden Plateau of Length. There we go. Again. You see what I mean. You'd expect it to hold a sacred animal. What is a sacred animal? Really? You don't know that? Certain animals were sacred to particular gods. The cat to Bastet, for instance. The ibis to Thoth. And they were often mummified as defenderings, as offerings. Whether or not the case is genuine or belongs with a scroll, I suggest we take a look at that now. It's in Greek, not one of the other scripts. Are you familiar with any of this, Lord James? I can't make head or tail of it, I'm afraid. Well, we actually have the title, which is most unusual. The ends of scrolls were subject to the most wear and are often missing. It's Biblion Kairukion. Biblion, of course, is book. The other word could refer to the staff carried by heralds, or the winged staff of Hermes, which was surrounded by snakes. A loose translation might be Book of the Serpent Staff. I'll see what sense I can make of this, but you'll need to be patient. I will be patient. Okay, I guess we were patient. It is dedicated to Ptolemy Physcon, the seventh Ptolemy, also called Evagrius or Well-doer, not to be confused with the first Evagrius, who extended the library and built the Serapeum. The Library of Alexandria, the greatest in the ancient world. Any guide to Alexandria will tell you about it. The writer promises to reveal great secrets and powerful magic. Most of it, so far however, concerns the history of the Nemephaev captain and his descendants, throwing a lot of terms at us here, and it's very, very difficult to click on that. The name means beautiful, is a bull of Ptan. Okay. One of the very oldest sun gods. In the afterlife, he opened the mouths of the deceased to release their soul. The scroll describes Nemeph-Kaptan as the daily son of an ancient pharaoh. There may have been someone of that name. The records of some dynasty are far from complete. But it certainly appears in most of the demotic tales, folk stories from the Greco-Roman era. They are written in late form of Egyptian, known as Demotic. One in particular concerns a folk were called Semte Quamuas. He actually existed. By the time of the Demotic stories, he was a legendary hero, a bit like Robin Hood. But the real man lived more than 3,000 years ago, was the son of the great Ramses II, and high priest of Ptah at Memphis. I think Ramses II is the Ramses mentioned in the Bible, but I'm not entirely sure. According to the scroll, Nephef Captain received a vision from the god Thoth. Wow, the exposition goes, it just doesn't end. One of the greatest Egyptian gods, a moon god, the inventor of writing, and god of the calendar. His name in Egyptian is Tehuti, literally the measurer. The vision led Nephef-Kaptan to a city of serpents, in the land of the dead, in the midst of the sea of Koptos. I don't recognize that name at all. The land of the dead was the western desert, and the sea of Koptos may be the name for it, part of it, or a magical location. There inside a series of boxes, of iron, then bronze, then wood, then ebony, then ivory, then silver, and finally gold, guarded by an endless serpent, that might mean immortal. You found the book which Thoth wrote with his own hand. One of the greatest Egyptian gods, a moon god, inventor of writing. Here we already had that. So, that much is clear, but the rest is written in very ornate and obscure language. That's usually the case with magical and alchemical texts. The key secrets were passed on by word of mouth. Well, we can't expect that to happen. So, wow, so that guy hasn't fallen asleep yet. Can we, Lord James? Can you make any sense of the rest? I think so. A lot can be guessed from the context. It seems that he studied the wisdom of the people of the city and... Forgive me, but here I'm afraid the text is only too clear. Trigastic rites of worship took place. He brought his wife to the city so that his people might father children on her. At some point, he killed the serpent which guarded the book, stole the book, and used one of the spells in it to imprison the inhabitants. After that, it talks of his daughters guarding some secret knowledge, until the stars are right, and of the sons leaving the company of men, when the blood of their fathers showed in them. What was the city called? The City of Serpents. Because its people were serpents. The idea of hybrid monsters, half human, half animal, is common in Egyptian religion and myth. Maybe not just there. You came in on the SS Dacia, Lord James. Shall I tell the professor what happened when he docked? Oh, so they do mention that again. Yes, tell him. One of the passengers, a Turkish citizen, was coming down the plank when he was stabbed by an Arab, who was then shot by a policeman. You might say that sort of thing happens here every day, but there are disturbing features. The eyewitnesses were almost hysterical about something about the Arab turning into a snake. When I looked at the body, I could see what had stabbed them. Dr. Morrison carried out the autopsy on the Arab and asked him about the scaly skin, slit-pupilled eyes, and needle teeth. I mean, he turned into a literal anthropomorphic serpent. You don't really need an autopsy for that. Or maybe he partially turned back, who knows. But he just muttered something about skin disease and birth defects. That's one hell of a skin disease. The same sort of things probably gave rise to the story in the first place. But back to what you were saying, Professor. Are there actually any magic spells in the scroll? It mentioned 3. The first one is one of summoning. And you know what? This goes on forever, so I think we're going to take a break here and I shall see you next time. Also, nice mushroom cloud next to the swings here. Thanks for watching and see you then.